In 1969, one motorcycle appeared that was so revolutionary, so reliable, and so affordable that it changed the future of motorcycling forever. It didn't just beat its competitors, it forced an entire industry to reinvent itself. In the late 1960s, owning a motorcycle required a tolerance for mechanical misery. The market belonged to established giants like Triumph, Norton, BSA, Moto Guzzi, and Harley-Davidson. These heavy machines offered classic styling and raw power, but they demanded constant attention. Riders spent their weekends with wrenches in hand, tightening bolts loosened by heavy engine vibrations. Cable adjustments, chain tensioning, and ignition timing occupied every spare hour. Oil seepage was so common that owners expected their engines to drip on the floor. Stopping meant relying on drum brakes that faded rapidly under hard use. Long-distance travel meant planning for roadside repairs. Riders accepted oil-stained boots, difficult kickstarting, and temperamental electrics as the price of ownership. In this era, reliability was not a standard feature, it was a luxury that had yet to be realized. In Japan, Honda was already preparing to challenge this status quo. Led by the philosophy of founder Soichiro Honda, the company set out to build a machine that would eliminate the compromise between speed and dependability. They envisioned a motorcycle that combined high performance, absolute reliability, rider comfort, and affordability in a single package. At the time, established Western firms dismissed Japanese manufacturers as makers of cheap commuter bikes, underestimating their technical capabilities. But Honda believed that the global market was far larger than competitors realized. To prove it, they committed massive corporate resources to precision engineering and advanced mass production capacity. It was a deliberate, quiet challenge to the old manufacturing ways, driven by the belief that advanced engineering should be accessible to ordinary riders everywhere. In October 1968, at the Tokyo Motor Show, Honda unveiled a prototype that stunned the industry. By 1969, this machine was in production. At its heart lay a smooth, air-cooled 736 cubic centimeter inline 4 engine, a configuration previously reserved for exotic racing machinery. It produced 67 horsepower, propelling the motorcycle to speeds beyond 120 miles per hour. Yet, this power was designed for everyday use. Instead of a heavy kickstarter, riders brought the engine to life with the push of an electric starter button. To control this speed, the front wheel featured a hydraulic disc brake, one of the first ever fitted to a mass-produced motorcycle. This was the physical proof of Honda's ambition. On the open road, the change was immediate and physical. Where older twins vibrated so violently they numbed a rider's hands, this inline-4 delivered smooth, effortless power. Owners no longer feared the daily commute or long-distance travel. They simply pressed a button and rode, free from the constant anxiety of oil leaks and roadside breakdowns. It was faster and more civilized than machines costing twice as much, yet it remained within reach of the working class. For the first time, everyday motorcyclists could experience elite racing technology without the high price tag or mechanical misery. Honda's automated factories rapidly scaled to meet the surge in demand. Between 1968 and 1970, Honda's annual shipments to the United States soared from 30,000 units to 150,000. During that same brief window, British imports plummeted from 120,000 to 70,000. British market share, which stood at 55% in 1968, crashed to 30% by 1972. Traditional manufacturers, relying on low-volume hand assembly and outdated casting methods, simply could not match Honda's production speed or consistent quality. Almost overnight, dependability became a non-negotiable requirement for buyers, leaving legacy brands struggling to survive. Motorcycle historians widely identify the 1969 CB750 as the world's first superbike. Its arrival forced a complete redesign of the global market by establishing an entirely new class of high-performance machinery. Before this inline four, high speed and everyday reliability lived in separate worlds. The CB750 proved they could exist in a single, mass-produced package. This formula defined the modern sport motorcycle. Over the next decade, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Ducati, and BMW all developed their own high-performance multi-cylinder machines to chase the standard Honda set, securing its place as the ancestor of the modern Superbike. The machine itself was only half of the story. Honda's true revolution lay in how it was built. At the Suzuka and Hamamatsu plants, Honda replaced slow manual assembly with high-pressure die casting and automated production lines. Moving away from the early sand-cast methods allowed the factory to build engines with microscopic tolerances at an unprecedented volume. This rigorous industrial system made advanced engineering accessible to everyday riders. Consistent, repeatable quality transformed a mechanical breakthrough into lasting global trust, forever changing how motorcycles were manufactured, marketed, and ridden. More than 5 decades after its debut, the CB750 remains a towering influence, far outlasting the era that created it. Today, collectors actively hunt for original, unmodified examples, treating these early machines as priceless historical landmarks. The bike's core principles, accessible power, absolute reliability, and rider-focused engineering still serve as the blueprint for contemporary motorcycles across the globe. By proving that high-performance engineering belonged to everyone, this machine redefined the relationship between rider and motorcycle. It is why historians and experts routinely regard this inline four not just as a classic, but as the most important motorcycle ever built. Every modern bike we ride inherits this DNA of accessible perfection. It proved that elite engineering belongs to everyone. Subscribe for more stories like this.